Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Zimmerbuilt Tenkara Sling Lite. Zimmerbuilt hand builds packs in the United States using the latest high-tech fabrics. This is the kind of thing you would see on the latest Ultralight backpacks, and that's because he makes the latest Ultralight backpacks as well. This sling bag is part of his fishing collection. So he has a full-size guide sling pack, and I think that holds like 6 rods. And this is the downside version. So this smaller one still holds 4 rods, and it's got enough gear to get you out on the water all day long. This sling bag is about 20 inches long, it's 8 inches wide, and it's about 3 inches deep. This thing only weighs 6.5 ounces. So this bag has all the latest and greatest high-tech fabrics on it. When you see this grid pattern here on the Zimmerbuilt stuff, this is a 210D grid stop. And then the back side here, this has got like a diamond pattern to it. And this is X-Pack. So all this material is abrasion resistant, it's lightweight, it's super strong, and it is waterproof. If I'm just going for a short little trek here, you can single strap this. This is designed to be slung across your shoulder. So the way it is now, it's sitting high and tight. You can see, even though I've got a longer rod in here than is intended, it's still lower than my head. So I'm going to clear brush. This is going to be fine for a traditional normal walk, but if things start to get real bad here, I've got a cross strap as well. So I can buckle that in. Now, if I fall, if I roll down a hill, if I get into some serious situations where I need both hands, I'm going to be good to go. Also, if I'm extremely active, if I'm trying to wrangle in a big fish, if I fall in the water, if I'm hopping rock to rock and bad things happen, when I'm strapped in like this, this entire bag is rock solid. So the way this is set up for me right now, I've got a water bottle, I've got my bigger supplies and my extra rods in the back. And I can pull it around here to the side when I unbuckle this. The zipper, everything is right on top here. When I just want to change flies, or I want to use my nippers, or I need my forceps, all that stuff's going to be right here on front. And now this is not included. This is a separate item, and I can change this out. This is the strap pack, actually. So when you get it, you can choose which pack you want to go with. You can change your packs out depending on your fishing conditions or what rods you decided to take that day. But it is a really versatile system. So this full-size strap pack just comes right off, and I'll unbuckle it. And I'll show you a couple different options you've got here. So you can see without it, I've got this same panel where I can stack multiples if I choose to. And sometimes I may not need 4 rods, and I may not need a lunch with me, and I don't need this whole big sling bag. I want to just travel light. So if that's the case, I've got all my essentials right here. I can take this off, and I can carry just this in one rod. I can leave this bigger sling bag at home. I can leave this in my vehicle. This is enough to get you by on the water. You can also, I've got tie outs here, and I could put this around my neck and I could just leave this. So I'll do a separate review on this and I'll show you what all I carry in it. So this does hold 4 rods, and you can kind of tighten them up. So not something you're going to be concerned with is losing one of these rods, even if you were to tumble. And this is my 12 to 13 foot zoom rod. So this is my Wild Water Tenkara. And this one is larger. I mean, it's a 13-foot rod here. And even this fits in this little tiny bag. So if you were only carrying 2 rods, you could double them up like this in one pouch. And then you've got this extra pocket for whatever, if you wanted to put your lunch or a water bottle in there. Very versatile system. I'm going to go ahead and take the other rods out just so you can see this a little bit better. So I've got 4 shot cord here, and I've got these tensioners here, and that's just single hand. I can pull this open or closed. I've got a waterproof zipper running the whole length of this. So anytime you get a zipper like this, this is not going to be 100% waterproof because I've got 2 zippers coming from opposite ways. I've got a port right here, and that would work for a hydration bladder hose. So I've got buckles here, and I can reverse this. I can put my shoulder strap on either side so I can wear this over my right or my left shoulder. And here is that full zipper. When this opens up, you've got full access to the inside of the bag. So without that strap pack on, you can see how much cleaner that is if you chose not to go with one. It just kind of depends on the situation you're in that day. I've got a shock loop here, and this is where I would route my hydration bladder if I was going to run one. So without any of this stuff on, you can see the process a lot easier. So when I need to access this, I can undo that quick release, and then right here, right in front of me. And if you look at this, I've got a ton of stuff in here, and it's not really packed for good yet. I just kind of put some items that I know I'm going to end up carrying, and everything is up. Gravity is your friend when it comes to a bag like this. I'm not holding this thing on its side, and I've got stuff dumping out in the water. This comes around, and look, it just sits here. So if things weren't quite going right, and you were fumbling, and your hands are cold, and you're not working right, you do not have to worry about opening this, and everything's on an angle, and you're just dumping stuff out. It's sitting comfortably over my shoulder. When I'm finally done, I can zip this back. I can get this out of my way. I can choose to put this strap on. Probably if I'm moving, I would. Probably if I'm not, I would just leave it just like this. So it's that quick of a process. And you have access to all your gear. I enjoy Tenkara because it's a minimalistic style fishing system. So why would I want an entire sling bag if I can get away with just the small pouches that I've shown before? Well, with Tenkara fishing, you're going to be moving. You're going to be fishing up and down a current. Most of the time, you're going to be sight fishing. So if you're not able to sight fish, you're still going to be moving around quite a bit. You're going to be moving up or down the bank. You're going to be moving around a pond, looking for at least areas where fish are likely to be. This is really more to support you than to support the Tenkara gear. So I've got a ton of stuff in here, probably more than I would carry, to be honest. So I've shown the small bag. This is the one that I just clipped onto the front. So this would be a larger Tenkara gear bag. So I've got multiple lines. I've got forceps. I've got my nippers. If this Zimmerbuilt bag is too large for you, I've got its baby brother right here. So if this is too much gear for you, well, this will do you just fine. And I can switch these out. I can carry both of them in my sling bag. If I know the waters and I think I know what they're going to be biting on today and I don't feel like carrying as much gear, I can have this smaller bag attached to that strap. I can leave the sling bag if I ever chose to and just carry this on certain days. So it's a kind of a modular system, and I really like that. What exactly would I need while I'm out on that water? I got a whole day's worth of gear here without any real problem. Now, I did not add any food. I would definitely have some snacks of some type, but I've got my Grail water filter. This is the smaller one. My larger one would fit in here just the same. I also have a dry box. A bigger fly box would be a good idea. I've got a bug net as well. And then I've got a couple of items just because of who I am. I've got some survival kits in here too. A small Altoid size 10 like this doesn't take up much space in your pack. I can have identical ones that I've got fishing gear in, so these would just stack right up and you really wouldn't notice them. This is not something where I'm really going into the wilderness planning on spending the night for sure. I would have bigger gear, I would have more gear, but this will get me by. With this, I've got a cutting tool, I've got fire. You can do quite a bit with this, but I've actually one-upped myself here even. So Zimmerbuilt made a small wallet. So this is something new that they just came out with. And this thing is actually pretty cool. I've got a heck of a survival kit in this little bag here. I'm going to go over this in another video. So I can take this clip and I could clip this on the outside of any of my bags. I could hang this where the water bladder goes in that sling pack. I've got multiple options to carry this thing, even if I'm just going ultralight and have a small neck Tenkara pouch and one rod. I'm going to have room for some little type of survival kit, because when you're around water, stupid things happen sometimes. And the inside of this bag, thank goodness, is a lighter color. If this is all black, it's easy to lose things in there. So I'm kind of a fan of that. And then inside, I've got this hook. So you could attach your keys and keep them in one place so you don't have to worry about losing them. This is probably designed for the water bladder. That's the main thing I would hang in here. But as I mentioned, I've got this little survival kit here, and these are just going to go hook to hook. And then no matter what happens, if you've got your sling bag, you know you're going to have a pocket-sized survival kit as well. And as far as weight goes, This thing is just a little bit over 3 ounces. So definitely watch for the video on my micro survival kit. Now, if you're not a Tenkara fly fisherman yet, you've still got options here. This is my Pescador on the Fly travel fly rod. So this is a 5-piece rod, and that fits in there just fine. And I've got the reel inside here. So I do have kind of a pocket here, and this would hold more than just the butt ends of the rod, but it's not quite large enough to hold the fly reel. So if you're a traditional fly fisherman and you kind of Tenkara on the side a little bit and you'd still rather have your safety net of a actual fly rod, if you've got a travel rod like this is still a 9-foot rod, but it's 5 pieces. You're still able to do that, and your reel is just going to fit in the bag. So we started the video with the larger pouch attached to the strap. So here's the smaller one just for scale. And I've got room. If I wanted to really load for bear, I could stack these pouches. This is going to hold plenty of gear to get me out on the water all day long. If this is the kind of thing you'd like to see, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Burning River Bushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at OutdoorCore.com. So if you're looking at this mini sling bag and you're thinking, that's awesome, but I like to carry more, I'm more comfortable with more items, they do make a larger one as well. This is the Lite. This is the smaller version. They have a lot of different accessories, and you're going to be seeing a lot more from this company. Till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.